Season 4 has arrived. You're looking to complete Team Affinity the fastest way possible in order to actually enjoy the game or feel like you're done with it. Our number one step is going to be optional, but I highly suggest if you have stubs to go ahead and spend, that you go ahead and spend those stubs in order to complete all of these exchanges. These exchanges are going to save you so much time, as in total for completing all of them, you're going to be getting 26,250 Team Affinity points, which is going to unlock 2 diamonds for you to go ahead and start off with. If you want the best bang for your buck when it comes to these exchanges, I would highly suggest going to showzone.gg, and once you're inside showzone.gg, go to market and then go to exchanges. Inside of the exchanges, you're going to change the exchange cost to 830,000 because that's how much it will cost you to complete an entire division in terms of exchange points, and then you will see by division at what price you should be buying these cards, and just go ahead and create buy orders. But if you've opened a ton of packs and have a ton of clutter inside your inventory, then I would just exchange those cards instead. Following these exchanges, you're going to be doing the moments for each division. These moments are going to give you a total of 7,500 Team Affinity points. So if you did not do the exchanges, you would be starting off here getting your first Season 4 diamond, but if you did complete the exchanges, instead you would be at 33,000, which unlocks an additional Season 4 diamond. And the reason why I'm going to keep a tracker in terms of how many Season 4 diamonds we have gotten is because you want to be integrating these diamonds inside of your Diamond Dynasty squad that you're going to take into Conquest. That way you know you're working on stat missions or PXP missions as soon as you jump into those Conquest games. Before continuing, let me remind you to hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and if you have time, check out the description as well for social media links and more. Before even thinking about Conquest though, you should do the showdowns as well. That way we knock out anything that doesn't actually have us requiring PXP or attributes, stats. So we're gonna go into showdown, and I went ahead and skipped to the final boss in each showdown so you guys can see the difficulties of each mini boss as well as who it is you're facing and the scenario you're going to be in. So inside of the East, we have Showdown versus Pearson. This is going to be on rookie difficulty, tie game, runner on first, take the lead before recording 8 outs. And then we're facing our Cabrera on rookie difficulty as well. We're going to be trailing a run, runner on third, take the lead before 12 outs. Facing Kimbrough, tie game, runner on second, take the lead before 10 outs on rookie difficulty as well. Facing Kodai Senga, rookie difficulty, trailing 2 runs, take the lead before recording 15 outs, and then we get upgraded to veteran difficulty. We're now facing Jose Alvarado, enter the game trailing by a run, and we need to take the lead before recording 10 outs. We're facing Feli Bautista now. We are trailing by 2 runs, and we need to take the lead before recording 12 outs. And then last but not least, we're facing Mariano Rivera, trailing by 1 run, and we need to take the lead before recording 8 outs. If up to this point, meaning you haven't entered this mini boss, and this counts for all of the showdowns, you feel comfortable with your team as well as making the deficit and winning the showdown, then you can skip the 2 more harder mini bosses in order to just jump in and face Babe Ruth with 20 outs, having to win the game. For the Central, first person we're facing is Danny Duffy, tie game, runner on first, take the lead before recording 8 outs, rookie difficulty. Then it's Brad Hand, trailing a run, runner on third, 12 outs to take the lead. Versus Rich Gossage up next, rookie difficulty still, tied game, runner on second, take the lead before 10 outs. And then last rookie difficulty one is going to be Hunter Green, trailing by 2 runs, and we need to take the lead before recording 15 outs. We then jump to veteran difficulty where we're facing Joan Duran. We're trailing a run and we need to take the lead before 10 outs. And then Fergie Jenkins, trailing 2 runs, take the lead before recording 12 outs. And then last but not least, Eduardo Rodriguez, trailing by a run, we need to take the lead before recording 8 outs. And then this is going to be probably one of the more difficult final bosses that we face because Rob Dibble has Outlier, of course, and we need to take the lead before recording 20 outs. Finally, for the West, we start off with Graveman, rookie difficulty, tie gamer on first, take the lead before recording 8 outs. So it seems like the scenarios are the same for each showdown. Just keep that in mind. So when you go ahead and draft these players based on these scenarios, you're going to go ahead and look before you draft by backing out and seeing whether you're facing a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher, or if you've been keeping track of this, you should know, oh, there are more right-handed pitchers or there are more left-handed pitchers. So inside my drafts, I should be looking for right-handed hitters or left-handed hitters. Also, the best perks or quirks are going to be hero time because they work no matter what, and it's exit velocity boost. You always want the perks that give you exit velocity boost. So we're facing Merrill Kelly next. Rookie difficulty, enter the game trailing a run, runner on third, take the lead before 12 outs. Then Brian Wilson, tied game, runner on second before 10 outs. And then last rookie one is going to be against Cristian Javier, trailing 2 runs, 15 outs. Then we jump to veteran difficulty, now facing Kirby Yates, trailing a run, take the lead before 10 outs. Then Lefty Grove, trailing by 2 before 12 outs. And then last but not least, Justin Verlander, trailing 1 before 8 outs. And then the final one is going to be Trevor Hoffman, which should be pretty easy, especially if you have a team that's stacked up with left-handed hitters that have a ton of power versus right. So by completing this showdown, you are now going to get an additional 20,000 team affinity points. With these 20,000 team affinity points, you are going to be at 53,750. And if you've accomplished the moments, the showdown, and the exchanges for each division, then you will now be at a total of 5 Season 4 diamonds per division. So what I would do next, before I even think about jumping into Conquest, is going ahead and adjusting my team and adding a full team of those guys that I either need Captain Stat missions for or PXP missions for. Now, when we're talking about the Captain Stat missions, I would do this personally for Captain Stat missions instead of going into Conquest, especially for the hitter stat missions. If it's pitching stat missions, then I would just jump into Conquest. But when it comes to hitter stat missions, what I would do personally in order to make it a whole lot faster and allow you to go into Conquest with just PXP missions, which is basically where you want to have PXP missions since you're trying to beat up the CPU, is I would go into play versus CPU for the stat missions, hitters specifically, and I would face a team like the Rockies away, and I would have 1 through 9 or as many players as I can leading it off for us that we need stat missions for. And I would select my 4th best starting pitcher no matter who it is. And I would go ahead and quit out once the last person that I need a stat mission with hits. For stat missions, you do not need an 8th plate appearance. For PXP, you will need an 8th plate appearance for the plate appearance to count the PXP. Now, on a similar note, if the pitching mission is a pitching mission that requires you to get strikeouts and not innings pitched or a save, then there I would find the worst team in terms of contact inside of the MLB, which will probably be the Oakland Athletics. I would face them at home. It doesn't matter the stadium that you go ahead and play at. Just try to go ahead and get those 3 strikeouts in the first inning and then quit out and rinse and repeat until your pitcher has those 12 strikeouts that you need. That's what I would do for all of the stat missions. Now, when it comes to the PXP missions, now is the time when we're going to hop into Conquest and we're going to basically complete each and every single Conquest map, which we will have guides to, of course, including the hidden rewards, in order to go ahead and gain ourselves an additional 30,000 team affinity points. With 30,000 team affinity points, we are now going to be at a total of 83,000 team affinity points, which is going to unlock us an additional 4 diamonds for a total of 9. But if you went ahead and knocked out the majority of stat missions, that's going to give you around 17,500 team affinity points. And then there are, of course, classic and boss, as well as team build PXP missions that give you the remaining team affinity points in order to complete this program. So as long as you are doing the Conquest map with the Season 4 players that you need PXP missions with, you should be close to, if not completely done, by the time you finish all 3 Conquest maps with the team affinities for each division. But if you are not done yet, then you have 2 options to go ahead and get the remaining team affinity points in order to complete the Conquest maps. Option number 1 is going to be entering mini seasons, and you are going to be going into Team Affinity Season 4, and you are just going to be playing the games up to the voucher and exchanging the voucher every single time, but looking to beat up on the CPU in order to gain more PXP. What I would highly suggest is going ahead and restarting the map by holding on whatever button it is depending on your system, and then re-entering the map until you have at least 4 games where you are playing at home. That way you can pick your own custom PXP park or a minor league stadium in order to get as much PXP as possible. But if you don't want to take the mini seasons route, and instead you'd rather grind it all out in one game, then you could go into play versus CPU and play at home at your own PXP park and just fill up the team with either a specific team build, a specific boss build, or specific PXP members that you need to complete in order to go ahead and finish it off and be completely done with Team Affinity Set 4. That way you can go ahead and gain all of the rewards that they have for the collections, which is going to be players like Nolan Ryan, Charlie Blackmon, Brandon Crawford, Walter Johnson, Joey Votto, Jazz Chisholm, and then Tom Hanks. My final piece of advice when it comes to doing this first is do not lock in for the Set 4 collection any card that is not unsellable. You understand? Every card that is unsellable, meaning that Team Affinity, no sell, you're gonna lock in. I guarantee you, you're gonna be able to get at least the first boss choice pack from the Set 4 collection, and then when Set 5 drops, you should lock in every other card you have. That way you get all that bonus XP towards Set 5 rather than getting it to Set 4, especially if in Set 4 you play the game enough to where you're gonna get to the wheel regardless of whether you get this bonus XP inside the beginning or towards the end. With that being said, tomorrow we will be dropping a video on which cards you should be picking along the XP reward path, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. But in order to be notified, of course, you need to hit that red subscribe button, notification bell, like button on this video. Check out the description as we have links to our social medias as well as our Twitch where we stream daily. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out.